Hello, this is Reverend Dr. Anthusa Helena, owner and developer, founder of Sollite for healing and conscious awakening, offering private and group sessions as well as integrative medicine programs, bridging the gap between medicine and spirituality. So we're on the Thanksgiving weekend holiday for the Northern America, and so many of us are grateful for so many things, or at least taking the opportunity to be grateful and aware of that at this moment in time. Whether we have spent time with our families or our friends or groups that we belong to that are acquaintances as well, all being grateful for what we have at this moment in time. Now, a lot of us also get a little bit distracted by the shopping holidays that happen to be, in quotes, in Northern America as Black Friday. But seemingly that starts awfully early these days. I think I was noticing it was starting a week before. And then I was also a little bit shocked to see an advertisement of some store saying that on Thanksgiving Day itself, they opened their doors at 2 o'clock. It kind of boggled my mind a little bit. But then again, I'm not really a big shopper, so to speak, or a Black Friday kind of person. So I do know that people get great sales and get things half price or even less and more than half price, which to me sometimes feels that that ought to be my own judgments or opinions to be the price that it actually probably would be beneficial for all of us to pay, as opposed to 3-4 times as much during normal times. But again, that distracts me from the topic today, and I am a human being, and those judgments often seek in as well. I don't claim that I'm perfect, nor do I claim that I have all the absolute answers to anything. What I do want and desire is to share my experiences, my knowledge and wisdom, as well as bring inspiration to you all to really find your own inner self and the truth of who you really are. As you've heard this before, divine beings having a human experience. So today, because so many others have been doing podcasts or live videos on gratitude, I would like to give you a little teaching on my point of view. And again, this is just in the present state of where my consciousness is at this moment in time, because that is forever changing. Change is constant. So what I portray and share with you today may not be what I believe tomorrow or the day after or a year later. I always want you to follow your own belief systems and what resonates with you and what is the truth within your own self. That's really what I target and attempt to do. So I do want to cover some particular points on gratitude today, and I don't want to miss the important highlights that I wanted to speak about, so I do have notes that I wanted to share with you. First of all, there's like this thing about possibly, I talk about opposites all the time and use triangles and work to unify, or as one of my teachers calls it, conjoining the opposites of the paradoxical areas that we live in presently, and that covers globally healing and conscious awakening. So I want to talk about blame in relation to gratitude. Do you find yourself sometimes either blaming yourself or blaming others or blaming a situation that might have occurred in your life seemingly to you? Possibly you've struggled through losing a job or having an illness, maybe a separation or a divorce, or even more serious, a loss or a death of a family member or a loved one. So that can bring up some deep-seated unresolved traumas or wounds that are still within your being somewhere, whether it's physical, emotional, energetic, psychological, or on a soul or spiritual level. This is why I teach and share the holistic medical model approach, because all these areas have to be looked at to find the hidden places where these images or thought patterns or voices still reside. And blame and judgment can be a big one. It's easier to possibly blame the boss that fired you because they didn't see that you were doing a good job, or maybe they had to have cutbacks or anything like that. But then do you also notice, are you self-aware sometimes that blame, that finger that points outward also sometimes points inward? And there's blame and judgment that happens within your own self, like a self-punishment. And that could be just a conditioned habit or something that's passed down through your genetics or DNA structure and coding. Or it can be hiding in the soul realm, which within the soul, the way I work with it, is where the ancestry, the culture, the lineage, those patterns and habits are just passed down genetically. So, I've been really observing that a lot lately. I'm working on an issue right now that's working to heal within myself of an injury that occurred several years ago that has now caused a situation or a problem within my spine and my structure. And I work with this in many ways as I share and teach others to do so. And when I need guidance and help, I still go to the teachers that I resonate with and ask for direction and guidance. But it's always really who is the true healer. You are the true healer. You heal yourself. The others that you go to just help facilitate your healing. But even beyond that, a step above, the ultimate healer is, if you believe in anything like God in quotes, the God of your own understanding. So it's really an issue between you and the God of your own understanding. So where does gratitude come in when we are blaming or judging either ourselves, other people, or a situation? Like in my case, a situation where I had an accident, and then I want to blame the accident or the people or the situation around the accident for the illness or the pain and suffering that I'm walking through or working to heal at this moment in time with myself. But you see, it really is all a gift to be grateful for. Remember, if you listened to my last podcast on disease and healing, I mentioned that it is within chaos that creation and transformation occurs. So when you find yourself in a conflict or a chaotic situation that may be surrounding a certain illness or situation, look for the gift underneath it. Look for the gratitude of that gift, because it's an open doorway to take you into a new level of awareness and consciousness, and also the ability and opportunity to heal yourself and then others. So a lot of us, or a lot of you that have known me for a long time, know that I work with triangles. So I'm going to talk about, here's my gratitude triangle today, remembering that I started with the issue of blame. You see, I think right now that forgiveness is gratitude, and I'll show you why. Let's see if you can see that. There's notes, so I'm not sure if the whole thing is there. But here's a triangle here. On this side is forgiveness. The other side is acceptance. Bring those two together in the top triangle, and you have compassion. Looking at the bottom triangle, forgiveness. Looking at down to the bottom, deep surrender of what is happening through acceptance of what is happening in the moment. Draw a straight line between compassion and surrender. Draw another cross line between forgiveness and acceptance. And in that big circle in the middle where all the lines meet are what I call the 3 G's. You see the G there? The G circle in the middle is grace, it's gratitude, it's a gift, and ultimately all around it is it's a God thing. So if you know my logo, showing you now, I bring those two triangles together, the top triangle and the bottom triangle. When they intersect and come into what we call balance in the middle of conjoining the opposites or accepting and surrendering to what is, so that those opposites come into unity, we not only bring those two triangles together, but as you see that symbol, and if you're into metaphysics, is the symbol of the Merkaba, or the symbol of the soul. Ergo, Sollite, utilizing your highest, most enlightened aspect of your soul for healing and conscious awakening. So remember, gratitude encompasses all of it, the forgiveness, the acceptance, the compassion, the surrender. Deep surrender through forgiveness and acceptance of what is on the bottom triangle, meaning here on the earthly plane, embodying that. And then the top triangle, as I showed you before, forgiveness and acceptance equals and comes up to compassion. Compassion is our most merciful, loving, compassionate existence of God, the creator of our own understanding. So stick with me a little bit more. With the gratitude and the forgiveness and being aware and totally honest through your self-inquiry about what is it that's triggering you, what's pushing your buttons, why are you blaming outwardly the situation that's actually being created inwardly, reflecting back to you a gift, an open doorway, something to be very grateful about. because that doorway leads you to a spiritual emergence, an opportunity to transform. However, we need to respond to what is happening. We need to have self-responsibility to avoid or attempt as much as we can, the best we can, not to react to what's happening. The reaction would be, oh, I want to blame so-and-so for what just happened. Or, okay, maybe I'm not that type of person. I think of myself as too holy or too good, so I don't really blame or judge others. What happens then? The finger turns inward and you blame yourself. Whether you're aware of it or not, self-punishment is not the way to go. It just is more harmful than it is good. So to take self-responsibility, to responding to the present moment of what is, that is the avenue of taking ownership. You know, as a healer myself, and also having to heal myself many times over through different situations, I find when we truly take ownership of what has been created, what was our share of the responsibility of what just occurred, seemingly outwardly, but what inwardly did we create? How did we change or shift our energy or our vibration to allow that to magnetically, whatever that is, magnetically be drawn to us so that we can have that experience? I'm not saying we're God and we created the situation. I'm not even saying that we're co-creators with God and that we said, hey, you know, let's orchestrate this. What I'm saying is that we need to look at ourselves and be honest, which I call self-inquiry, honest self-inquiry. Look at it, take ownership for what is our part in every situation. What made possibly our marriage end or our spouse not really want to love us anymore the way they used to? We do have a part in everything that happens to us. Maybe some people say that it's a contract that's made on a soul level before we actually come into this earthly existence. I don't know. I don't know what you think or what your beliefs are. What do you think gratitude is? What do you think self-ownership and self-responsibility is? What do you think it takes to actually equate forgiveness and gratitude to come into oneness and find that gift and then bow deeply and be grateful? Grateful for yourself, grateful for all the people involved, grateful for the God of your understanding to have orchestrated this either for you or with you and giving you this opportunity to heal and consciously awaken. So, one more thing, not too many things, I just wanted to point my version of gratitude since lots of people are bringing their versions in and all really good and informative. I'm always grateful to hear other people's ideas and information. I guess I became an information junkie a long time ago, actually because I was working to heal myself. But I want to leave you with a thought of questioning yourself. This is beyond the gratitude lecture or sharing today, not lecture. Of just awakening to your awareness. to feel that, just be aware of the silent aspect that's always there. Whatever you call that. Is that your witness? Is that your higher self? Is that the God of your understanding? Is it the truth of who you really are, your divinity? I don't know. What is it for you? But just simply, I find that at times, if I just remind myself during the day or during a moment when I need to kind of recollect myself, to just be still and ask, who am I? Take a moment to do that, just peacefully right now. Just sit there and feel your body. It's really a feeling, sensory perception that brings you to the inner knowing and understanding of this awareness. So be in tune right now with your feeling sense when you ask the question, who am I? You could also add, if you wanted, one more question. Where am I? So, who am I? Where am I? Feel that. As you feel that, you might want to just think or have a sense of feeling again of what is that that's looking through your eyes right now? Who is that that's looking through your eyes right now? Feel that. Sense it. Perceive it. Who is that that's listening through your ears right now? Where am I? What is that that's listening through my ears right now? Get a sense, perception, a feeling. What is that? Who is that? Where is that? I'm not going to answer those questions for you. I'm just here to say hello for today. Wish you all a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Tell you that I'm deeply grateful for those of you that comment and listen and that go on to my YouTube channel, Sollite and Thusa Helena, where I've been doing weekly podcasts and Facebook Live videos full of information to help enlighten, inform you, and basically inspire you. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for everything as it comes, when it comes, because I become aware that that's an open doorway for me to walk through for healing and conscious awakening. I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful holiday season. And just remember to remember who you are. Even if you just ask one question, who am I? For more detailed information about me, my sessions, my programs, log on to www.sollite.com. Again, remember who you are. Thank you. Have a very blessed day. Bye for now.